Nigerians across social media don't they para say President Bola Tinubu, why he be like saying Shegumi go tell you what you go do? Waiting be this new relationship and this new security partnership where we don't go sign together with Turkey. And why Turkey precisely? Especially after people don't call Turkey one kind of remember, say a television station for Egypt been don't accuse Turkey of funding terrorism. Why it be in a country where it be said they're accused of funding terrorism now don't go sign security agreement with and meet our own terrorism fight all the fight here for Nigeria. This is not part of waiting it be say they worry some people for belly say waiting they go on and again after person when they say they seem when people they talk say they sympathetic to terrorists where they ravage our people for inside our country. Shey Gumi don't advise say oh instead of us to go US go collect help instead of US to come we could collect help from Turkey from Palestine and then lo and behold we don't get assistance or get security packed with Turkey and people don't get worried about this. In case you're not worried, you should be worried. I don't know if you should, but this is not part of the matter. The way be say day grand. Welcome to Updates with Precious. My name is Precious, and you always sweet my belly to bring on an update of things that happen for inside the country. And today, on Thursday, we get our once in a week medicine. At Thursday medicine, Dr. Catch on the Ide for corner, and we bring them inside the studio, make it follow us, put them out for talk for things so they happen. Did I tell you that Nigeria Islamic Council, the Supreme Islamic Council for Nigeria, said they no go agree? Nothing go make Oga Joash Amokwiton, a Christian, come conduct election for Nigeria. Where say why? Say because he did bias. Say she been write a report for 2022. For inside citation or with where you write, so he talk say Christian they genocide them for Nigeria. So say they not believe say any election where you go conduct go be free and fair because you don't already they bias towards Christians. That people say excuse me. For the past almost 20 years, we've had Muslim heads of INEC, Jega, Mahmoud Yakubu, all of them. We never talk say oh may they sack them because they be Muslims and they go they sympathetic. Oh okay, so if we begin talk now say oh the elections where these people then conduct actually they sympathetic to their Muslim brothers. Which you not go do that now? Waiting people don't talk because I said they talk to you now. Can't don't say now lie. They no go agree. That's in one that they talk. Islamic Supreme heads we no go agree for them. So you see, wahala be say they grants. But make I just quickly rush some headlines of things that they happen for inside the country. Tell on sharply. Now, Nigerians don't they lament the way we be say politicians use line up for inside airports. They wait for Sheyi Tinubu to land the red carpet so you be see them put for front of aeroplane where they come begin shake one by one, just like they do to the president, they get to do to the son too. And Nigerians will say, hey, we never seen this kind of thing before. Which kind of wahala be this? We not see this kind of thing under Obasanjo. We not see Amanda Buhari. We not even see Amanda Jonathan. What in the name of psychopathy is this? Now waiting people don't they talk. And guess what? Some people don't talk. Say, hey, make a tell on the matter. See in Nigeria, America now in charge of our security. No, sorry, right now. Turkey now in charge of our security. France now in charge of our taxes. UAE now in charge of our healthcare. Screwdriver guy furniture. Now they oversee our intelligence. And President Bola Tinubu they do it in in charge of defections. In fact, some people call Agile on top say Bill Gates now in charge of our food with GMO. So anyhow, I won't see him. Make on see him. Professor Chidi Carlo now talk this one. And this one don't they get people they talk well. I tell you say for inside Anambra State, Soludo don't come out contact the governor of Anambra State say next people where be say he go deal with now. Na schools make we know why be say on no go open school on Thursdays. But as I speak to you right now, the teachers and don't beg. They don't say sorry, we no go do am again. Sorry, market people furniture. They don't beg. Say we promise say we no go sit at home again. We go open markets. Just help us open market. That now waiting traders and don't they ask for now. Say I beg open market for us. We won't sit at home again on the main market traders assure Soludo. We won't sit at home again. And then Wike defies court order, sends Caterpillar to destroy live camp garden in Abuja after over 1 billion naira investment. You can't destroy the garden again. They're waiting for the need of the investment. 2027, it's Obi or nothing. Brother to Isaac Fayoshe, now you don't declare that one. Plenty matter than they will be will get for granted today, but make we not just the waste time they call all the matter then one by follow. Make I go invite Dr. Catch on to make it help us put him out for talk this evening. Good evening, Dr. Catch. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a good thing, a pleasure being with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Kaj, today we woke up to the news of the Supreme Islamic Council for inside Nigeria. They vex the Supreme Council for Sharia for Nigeria. They vex. They said they don't want to make Oga Joash Amokwiton on near 2027 election. So they don't trust any election when go contest. Say they believe saying already they bias. So because of that, they don't trust any election where be say he will contest. And part of what's in the cite, now say he been do a citation. In fact, make a quote part of the message you put to say this is not the first time, this is not the first time the council is taking this position. Umaru said in a legal brief he personally sent, he sought to establish the existence of a Christian genocide in Nigeria, a position that is directly at odds with the official stance of the federal government, which has categorically stated that there is no such thing as genocide, does not exist. So now waiting the Oga Patapata of the Islamic Council, they talk. Say for the brief, legal brief, if we say Oga Amoko to arrive for 2022 to carry say Christian genocide day for Nigeria. A stand where the Nigerian government is also saying a lie, they at all. Say because of that one, they know saying don't they bias already. So say for an umpire in a democratic process, integrity and neutrality are non-negotiable. So Omar and I talked that one. He said, as far as we are concerned, his integrity has been compromised. The honorable thing is for him to resign. If he does not, the government should dismiss or retire him immediately. But then Christian Association of Nigeria don't come talk. Say, which kind of talk with that one? Say, he need to go anywhere. He need to go anywhere. So Christian Association of Nigeria don't go against this one where be say Islamic Council they talk. Let me quickly take your thoughts on them very quickly. Considering, say, for the past almost 20 years, we don't get almost Muslim heads of INEC. Why not now where somebody with like saying a Christian? Why not still a Muslim president appoints? Now you didn't get problem with them. Make I take your thoughts, sir.
Well, for me, I think that we're even discussing it is very upsetting
Hmm.
because the Sharia Council itself is a thug unit. That's what they are.
They
They
be
are
thought.
not the, they are a thug, an intellectual thuggery fundamentalist unit. It is not good that we even discuss what they say. They are
Hmm.
inconsequential. They are inconsequential. They don't add to anything. They are not recognized. There is nothing they do that has any consequence in the country. These are just crybabies. And what you're seeing now is the aftermath of the bombing. So you're going to see a lot of actions calibrated by a lot of people who were too scared during the period of the bombing to say it's in. Now they believe the Americans are gone. They start making noise. You hear that in the Senate yesterday from Ningi, whose governor is being accused of sponsoring Abdullahi Bello Bodejo, leader of the Miyetti Allah Koto Hore. Ningi is from Bauchi State. He never questioned his governor's sponsorship of terrorism. He is questioning Tinubu for not discussing with him. Don't forget, America didn't need
Oh dear.
us, Obama, or if when they carry out these security things. When it comes to issues of national security, the country may decide not to discuss with anybody until after it has done it. So, and that's why. So it's not a game of no, the Senate is being sidelined. Obama never talks to the Senate. Obama just announced after the fact that we have taken out Osama bin Laden. And that's how it is. If you start talking to people like Ningi, the terrorists that you are trying to actually hit could gain a prior information. Why?
Hmm.
We have been here before. So when the Americans first came during the Buhari era and they talked about using gas to neutralize everybody, they were shocked to see that terrorists suddenly, because you have such this terrorist in government. So the government is correct to act without telling these people what it is. And those are part of what is angering them. You can see they bullied President Tinubu to equalize by also going to Turkey. Can't you see that? And he knows the game. So he's playing just to tell them, okay, fine. Obama is here for the Christians. You people for Muslims, you say go to Turkey to balance it. Okay, I've been to Turkey. That's just to play the politics of it. But fundamentally, you know very well, the Americans and Israelis are already in the Nigerian house. The gate is shut. The gate is shut. There is nothing you can do here anymore. The Americans are here and they've closed the door behind. So all these things are reactions after the facts. The US are here, and they've gotten the Nigerian government to sign a military security cooperation agreement that the Americans authored. They've even come back last week to try to repair some of the fine prints to allow them, strong latitude in their operations in Nigeria. Turkey is not trustworthy, of course, you know. Turkey has a history of backing Islamists around the world. So anything you do with them will be with suspicion. We could also have such agreements with them that could let them give us some weapons. Could they have? If they have, they have a very well received drone, and that drone, who says we can buy them and then pursue these people into the places where they are? Now that our army has gotten control of a large swath of the Sambisa forest. So we are grateful to the Americans for coming. You're not having all these reactions because of the American coming. Everything you see, this Sharia mad people say they are talking about, is all because of the American intervention. They can get as angry as they want. That's their business. I will urge Nigerians to ignore them. They are inconsequential. There is nowhere in the constitution where it is say whatever they say, we should consider it or take them seriously. Just ignore them. They're angry that their jihadist agenda has been stopped in its track. Even though I spoke this morning on television and I was asked about the sudden escalation of crisis within the Benue Basin. And I blame that, yes, on the government. The fact that the militias are now doubling up simply means that the army has a lot to do in mopping up. So, yes, it's one thing to throw bombs from the air, but you need boots on the ground in certain parts of Nigeria where these people are operating ethnic cleansings in the Benue Valley, in the Plateau Plains, the Mambila Plains in Adamawa, of course, the crisis areas of southern Kaduna. So we must open our eyes about all these Christian enclaves. The die-hard jihadists are going there and doubling down in killing people and kidnapping Christians. We don't have to rest on our oars. The Americans have come here, but the battle is right in front of us. We've only just started. And I want to tell people, don't despair. We can do the best we can. If it doesn't work, just as the Nigerian politicians are suggesting in New York about a two-state solution. Who told you Nigeria also cannot embrace a multi-state solution if
Like
the
dividing.
Islamic fundamentalists, if what's wrong with that? People
Eh.
get out of marriages that are impossible. So if it is what these Islamists are pushing for a division of the country, I don't think the Christians will walk away from it. We'll find a way and we'll divide the country. India did this with Pakistan and divided their countries based on those religious lines. That's how Pakistan moved out to build an Islamic country. And I don't think they are dying. No, it is doable. It is doable. But
All
we
right.
don't want that.
All right, sir. So let me quickly touch on what people have been saying and the reason why people are worried about this, or perhaps the reason why this is even a conversation in the first place. So I think it was the president of Turkey that tweeted this. He tweeted, of course, in Turkish language. First of all, I had a problem with a president going to another country without a direct on the spot interpreter. I don't know whether you have seen him, because most times when they talk, a president they talk, they speak in their language, and we don't really get person will interpret on the spot, including sign language interpreter. I don't know why such a high level, multi, international conversation or conference or whatever it is they attended would be done without a direct on the spot interpreter. But the Turkish president tweeted, this is the um, English translation. You can see this is his Twitter handle. The English translation of waiting Ibise in talk, translated from Turkey. I had to translate it. And it says Nigeria is a country of strategic importance with which we maintain close cooperation on many issues concerning Islamic world. So that means Nigeria is an Islamic world, especially Palestine, within the framework of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the D8. So, this is worrisome, and this has become worrisome for a lot of people. But before we talk finish, make I play you some evidences will make more people they worried about this. First of all, make I play you waiting by Ononoga talk. Sorry, I think it was Daniel Bola concerning the agreement when they signed this. Now, waiting happened when they signed the agreement and waiting Daniel
Agreement
Bola
on
talk.
behalf of the Republic of Turkey, Minister of National Defense, Yasar Gila, on behalf of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Agreement on behalf of the Republic of Turkey, Minister of National Defense, Yasar Gila, on behalf of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Minister of Defense Christopher Gwabi Musa, will be exchanging agreement on defense cooperation between the government of the Republic of Nigeria and that of Turkey.
All right. So you don't see that. But secondly, another Muslim, I think Issa Bako, had this to say. He worries also about this pact that was signed with Turkey. This is what he posted on his TikTok handle. Take a listen.
So Nigeria's health care now belongs to the U.S. government. Nigeria's taxes and land to France. Nigeria's care now belongs to the U.S. government. Nigeria's taxes and land belong to France. Nigeria's food belongs to an American billionaire, Bill Gates. And now Tinubu has gone to Turkey to go and hand over our security and our military to Turkey. It's okay. I think Germany should take over. I don't know. What do you think Germany should take over in Nigeria? Germans should be in control of something because, it's unfair that Germans will not be in charge of something. The French and Spaniards too, because Spain, come on, they have
right. He did make a lot of lamentation, but most importantly, there was a television station, I think late last year, an Egyptian television station that accused Turkey of not just sponsoring terrorism, but also sending arms to Boko Haram in Nigeria. Make we watch when they talk.
An Egyptian television news program says that Turkey is clearly a terrorist state with a broad reach. It reports that Turkey is supplying weapons to the terrorist group Boko Haram in Nigeria. 10 TV host Nashat Al-Delhi reported on a leak confirming an intercepted phone call from a few years back confirming the action. He reported in part, today's leak confirms without a doubt that Erdogan, his state, his government, and his party are transferring weapons from Turkey to, this is a shock, to where you may ask, to Nigeria. And to whom? To the Boko Haram organization. Well, Raymond Ibrahim, a journalism fellow at the David Horowitz Freedom Center and an expert on the Middle East and Islam, joins us now with more on this. Welcome, Raymond.
Hello, Heather.
Are you surprised by this report? What's your take on it?
No, I'm not surprised. And my take on it is that the actual tape that was made that you referenced and you quoted was made apparently in 2014 or 15. And it was reported widely in certain areas in the U.S. and in the West, not so much, and not much came out of it. And the reason, I think, is because Erdogan didn't have his fingers so much in Islamist politics outside of his own nation. But now that we've seen, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the ISIS Islamic State caliph who was killed recently, and he was found just 3 miles from the Turkish border, which is in fact one of the last, or if not the last bastion of jihadi so-called freedom fighters of attacking the Syrian government. It's brought it up again, the fact that everyone is saying, well, look, he's supporting ISIS. So now we're remembering, and that was, I think, the point of the Egyptian show. We're bringing back to see that there's some continuity here. It's not just right next door to Syria, to Turkey, meaning Syria. He's involved with some of the absolute worst Islamic terror groups. Remember, Boko Haram, which its name loosely means Western education is forbidden, haram. was basically doing what ISIS is notorious for years before ISIS. So the whole, head chopping, crucifying, massacres, enslaving women and children, burning people alive, Boko Haram was doing that. And one of the things that international observers have been noticing, especially increasingly, is that their armaments, their weapons, are very sophisticated. And it's even spilled into the Fulani tribesmen in Nigeria and in other parts in Africa. For example, I'm sure you know, Burkina Faso, also in Western Africa, attacks on Christians have become horrific. Just in the last few months, there have been so many killed, and always in the context of checking out if they're wearing crosses, if they can say the Islamic Creed or not, and then being butchered and so forth. And those tribesmen, the Fulani, who are essentially living almost on a primitive scale, appear with very advanced weaponry.
Well, that's really interesting, which would kind of seem to perhaps give more weight to this idea that perhaps Turkey is collaborating with Boko Haram. What would the benefit be to Turkey of collaborating with Boko Haram?
Well, there's several theories. One is Erdogan basically is an ardent Islamist, and he is supporting and behind any Islamist movement in any country. He's the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. He was allied with Qatar of Al Jazeera as his ally. And so you can see him, he's trying to help develop these Islamist groups so they can overthrow more secular states. Though, in fact, in Nigeria, an aside that I think is important, the president himself, Muhammad Buhari, of Nigeria, who's Muslim, Nigeria is half Christian, half Muslim, has been accused himself of being behind the so-called genocide, which a lot of international groups have called what's happening to Christians in Nigeria, that he himself is complicit in this armament. So he could very well be an ally of Erdogan and so forth, and it's just some sort of Islamist overall coalition globally.
I want to ask you, the President Trump, of course, met with the President of Turkey yesterday. Do you think he's aware of these kind of ties to terrorism? And what are your thoughts on that meeting yesterday?
Well, in general, I think, what he's aware of is really hard to tell. But I think the meeting in general, Trump and presidents won't necessarily bring up all these things, obviously. So when he met, for example, in Saudi Arabia with the king and so forth, he doesn't really mention human rights abuses and so forth for whatever strategic tactical reasons. So it's really hard to predict, but I think he needs to be aware because Erdogan's he's got his fingerprints everywhere now. It's not just Syria, which is very obvious, but now there's older evidence of him involved in Nigeria and also in Turkey itself, the Christian population, the minority there. And remember, Turkey was originally entirely Christian. It was Anatolia. It was actually where St. Paul wrote all his epistles to. They're really being treated badly and discriminated against, and a lot of hate preaching in Turkey is increasingly against Christians and Jews. So definitely Turkey's going down the wrong path with Erdogan, though many Turks themselves remain committed to the Ataturk ideal of secularism.
Well, we are out of time, but Raymond Ibrahim, thank you for your time and your insight.
Both the interview and the report, and you hear clearly within the man states for inside the matter, talking about why Ibisi Erdogan, they support and encourage anything where Ibisi put Islam as, make Islam supreme. Basically, now within they talk and say if to finance terrorism for Nigeria, get many benefits for him. And, the fact that he advances anything that's got to do with Islamic cause in the world generally and all that. And that he's been fighting to also take over some secular states and make them Islamic states, considering that Turkey was once a Christian country. Should Nigerians be worried over that? The reason I ask this question further is because I don't know if you remember early this year, not just about last week, we hear say our Financial Reporting Council said they're going to integrate Islamic finance standards into Nigerian framework. So people don't they worry too much, and they will still be member of IOC or what we call them again. So should we be worried, sir? Can you hear me, Sir Dr. Katra? Network. I think the network. Dr. Katra, if you can hear me. So it's very important that we, lay this bare so that we can understand exactly what it is we're dealing with. Can you hear me, Dr. Kach?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. So please go ahead. Should Nigerians be worried? I did say that just last week, the Financial Reporting Council in Nigeria said they will integrate Islamic finance standards into Nigerian framework. Perhaps our banking system and all that will get some of those, Islamic banking standard, basically, as it were. So that's what I'm saying. That should Nigerians be worried over this?
Nigerians, it's not an issue of Nigerians being worried. Nigerians have just discovered agenda of the Buhari administration, which seems to have been also embraced by the Tinubu administration. So it is true, we have seen that agenda and its violent form, which is the jihad. And of course, it also have other forms to try to make sure a lot in our national life is Islamized. They are on. The fact that the Americans have stopped them in the battlefields, in the physical genocidal battlefield, does not mean that the Islamists who are in power currently in Nigeria do not have other agendas. They do. And it is wrong for us to be doing reactive, commentaries and politics. We should get our own legislators who are Christians to be making noise also.
But our Christian legislators
Because
are not talking, sir. Even our Christian governors, in fact, the entire southern governors are not talking. Reason I'm saying this, in Oyo State, former minister had said that if it takes him to bring Sharia law into Oyo State, he'll bring it. And people are not speaking up. That's exactly the reason why people are worried. Just see what the Muslims have just said recently, that if Tinubu dares not to use Shetima, that it will have consequences for him. So that means they're still pushing the cause of Muslim ticket, irrespective of whether the president wants to balance it or not. The question is not just about being a Muslim ticket. The question is, if it were the other way around, would the Muslims tolerate what the Nigerian Christians have tolerated from them? So why should it be that way? And all of this one's joined
well,
together.
if
We don't
you
want
are going to
concerning
tolerate
this Muslim.
nonsense,
Okay, sir.
you will tolerate those. They know the Christians' docility. The Muslims have continued doing what they're doing. But I don't think that's where the issue is. The Christians should start meeting and organizing. They are doing it. If the meeting and organizing cannot happen on a national scale, it is good that you're now having ethnic groups meet and organize in their group meetings, and they raise some of those things and state their position. So for me, I don't think we should panic to these things. It's been happening, and we have been very silent for a very long time and very docile. So right now that we're beginning to find our voice because of the sudden discoveries left, right, and center, we need to be very cautious and
Oh dear, network since.
whose docility continue doing what they're doing. So my advice is don't just stay there to complain. Do something. Talk to your Christian leaders. If they're going to be afraid and not be able to say something to this nonsense, so be it. But if we want to really do something very importantly, we should start now to tell our Christian representatives across the country to speak up against what we think Islamic fundamentalists are doing. As simple as that. You're not going to just keep quiet and think the fundamentalists will just, walk away. No, they're exerting a lot of pressure now that we're approaching another election on the politicians. And the politicians welcome it all. You can see Tinubu's game. Why do you think he's not talking to all those mad talk heads like Gumi and Co? But he's taking it gently. Of course, Gumi too, if you notice, have stopped his noise. And I will tell you that's because they've also reached out to him. Let's see what's.
Oh dear, I don't know why we're having this network issue today. It's I don't know if you can hear me, Dr. Catch. I don't know if you can hear me. All right, so that being said, Nigerians are largely worried. Dr. Catch, I don't know if you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, kindly
Nothing is.
respond. Okay, sir. We lost you for a moment. You got frozen for a moment.
Oh,
Go ahead, sir.
well, whatever it is,
Okay,
the
sir.
network issues are here, but today is much better than previously. I
Yes.
agree.
Mm.
So what I'm saying is, come what may, we must raise our voices and speak against what we think are anomalies, especially the strident rising voices of the Islamic fundamentalists in our midst. And it is because we didn't say a thing, that was why the fundamentalists goaded the Buhari administration into
Oh, not today again with this network. Sincere apologies, Dr. Touch. I just wish we can have a smoother conversation without
a
all
jihad.
this. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you very well.
The network keeps interrupting, sir. We just dey get constant interruption. It is
Yeah, they would.
seasonal. Mm.
The networks will continue to interrupt, but doesn't mean that we cannot do what we want to do. We will
Go ahead, sir.
continue speaking to ourselves. So,
Go ahead, sir.
for all I can say, I will want to say that the Christians should not despair. They should continue to do what they have been doing, raise their voices, protest where it is necessary, uh, and don't keep quiet when you see people doing something wrong. Don't be afraid. These things are constitutional for you to speak up and know heaven wouldn't fall. But you see, due to the absence of courage amongst leaders, people do not talk. And when they don't talk, their neighbor who is pushing an agenda will continue to talk and even try to act upon it. That's how Sharia came to Nigeria. It wasn't done as a matter of law. It wasn't in the books. But Muslims just started declaring it. Daring Obasanjo, the Christian president, what he would do. He didn't want trouble. And what happened? They started practicing it and started behaving as if it was in the books. And when you now tell them, say, no, 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 that they can practice anything they want.
Okay, so Dr. Catch, if you can hear me, if you can turn off your video, let's see if using only audio would be
That the
better.
law allows you to practice.
No.
I think these are early days going forward. I have no doubt Nigeria will get well. But if we can't get well, we have a perfect opportunity to work, to be able to live in peace and still be members of the same African Union and ECOWAS. It's not a must. We must continue to forcefully coexist with Muslims. We don't need to.
All right, sir. So another reason why this one is very worrisome. See, recently we talk about how some Mieti Allah people they use rifles, AK-47 precisely. We come from the office of the National Security Advisor, and that one spark reaction. People can say, nobody say Mieti Allah people will be say the armed herdsmen, 9 people that accused for Benue for Plateau. Say now then they come they kill their people. How come they can't carry a rifle wey be seen and the Office of National Security Advisor give them? Only for yesterday, for them to catch about three leaders of Mieti Allah for inside Kwara State. One are the president. In fact, them be top members. One are the president. And they use their mouth confess saying they guilty of banditry and kidnapping. That is terrorism and they confessed to that with
Yes,
their mouth. And
yes,
then with the NSSA, he's oblivious of that. These are the people that he recently, gave rifles to be vigilantes in Kwara State. So you see, so now what's it make people they fear? They say, they like say something they go on. How is it that again President Bola Tinubu don't know about all these things? How will they say he don't know about them? Some people don't accuse and say because in the Muslims, so now waiting making just the play soft on waiting this agenda be if there is an agenda. But make I take your thoughts on that because Nigerians are genuinely worried, and I don't think we should blame them for being worried.
Well, I will say that I have read the story about the kidnappers and terrorists who were caught, who turned out to be executives of the Kwara State group of the
Nakban.
Meet Allah.
Yes.
So the Meet Allah is already listed in the United States Congress as a terrorist organization.
Yes, the US then they fail to call them terrorist organization. They don't call them terrorist organization.
That's what they are. The Nigerian government has not yet fully stood up to do what it should do against terrorists. The other day, the Katsina government and the Kaduna government had arrangements where they allowed the terrorists to walk away free. You see, the problem I have is it is easy for this government to divert attention by calling people they see in the South terrorists. And those who actually engage in terrorism in the North, who are in the open spaces, they don't want to touch them. That's why the government is saying to be complicit in the violence. And they wouldn't be able to get themselves out of it anytime soon. You see? So the government has a lot of patrons in government who are actually sympathizers of these terrorist groups. The terrorist groups didn't fall from heaven. No, they are an ethnic militia. And there are top politicians from such ethnicities who work with these terrorists who are currently in positions of very high influence in our country. And this is a problem. So I don't know what Tinubu is doing. I know he needs help. Well, the Americans are here. That is my only solace. But you think Tinubu will just immediately he's discovered to be having this deficiency?
Please, this network, not today, not today, not today. Not
Politics.
okay, sir.
So it's a good thing that we currently have woken up to the truth about terrorism as a mainstay hobby of politicians in Nigeria. So we have to yet calibrate a way to act towards these things. The government even don't know what to do. As I told you, what have you done to the terrorists that were released to go free in Katsina and Kaduna states? The government have done nothing. So we are watching. We are watching.
Okay, sir. So again, what do you think is the reaction of a country like make we not talk US and like Israel will be considering the part where we say Turkey don't play with waiting they happen for Gaza for inside with Israel. And the fact say Israel don't also promise say they could do their best to make sure say they stop the killing of Christians for inside Nigeria. Concerning this new agreement now for security we will sign with Turkey, how you take things say Turkey, I mean Israel will react to them if attacks continue the way they continue on Nigerian Christians?
Nigeria may be a new platform for a proxy war amongst the superpowers. So
Okay.
the Israelis
They
say,
will just
of
do test
course,
run.
Nigeria is likely to become a new front for proxy wars. You bring in Turkey, the Israelis and Americans have brought themselves in here. If you now want some Muslim sympathizers to come here, it will only quicken the country's breakup. So I think they should be careful what they are doing and where they are going with all this. A lot of this could backfire and will only hasten the quick breakup of this country because the fundamentals that holds us together have been destroyed. The fabric that actually gives us hope to continue to walk as people of one country has been damaged by Buhari and his fundamentalist people. We know the government hasn't been able to do any of the things it should do to actually save us. The only thing the government has done so far that is sensible is allowing the Americans have their way. Okay, without the Americans coming in and doing those, showing those people there are consequences for their continued jihad, I don't think we'll have the level of peace that we currently have today in Nigeria. Don't forget what this country was 3 months ago. It was hell. Killings were not stopping. Even though I still condemn the attempt by the Islamic fundamentalists and jihadists to double down in the Middle Belt. We're seeing signs of it, and we're asking that the government also double down in trying to make sure these people do not come back to the Benue Valley, nor in Plateau, nor in Taraba or Kaduna states. What we've seen, we believed the bloodletting is enough. The Muslims should not think that Christians will just stand by and see them take over these lands. No. If they continue, they can be very, very well assured that the breakup of this country is actually what they are working for.
All right, sir. So this one where you talk like this, it still they happen oh, because for Ondo State, Ondo people riot today. I don't know whether you don't hear say too many attacks happened recently for inside. They happened recently for Ondo State. And before we even reach Ondo State, for Enugu here, that is I think Ozowani Abi for inside Enugu State. Now I saw somebody did that they cried. So a young woman from Nimbo community for Ozowani local government area of Enugu State, Ugu Christian Chairman, I be her name. She don't appeal to the Enugu state government, security agencies, and well-meaning Nigerians for urgent assistance after her family's farm was destroyed by cattle grazing, herders grazing freely in the area. If you see the whole of the land don't turn to ordinary, I wish I can show pictures. The whole farm like this. Now, Choma said the farm, which covered several hectares and was planted with cassava and other food crops, was devastated when cattle strayed into the fields, wiping out months of labor and investment. Standing inside the destroyed farmland, in a video she shared, the School of Health graduates described the incident as crushing blow to her family. She said, I am a graduate of School of Health, but there are no jobs, she said. I came back home to join my mother, who is a widow, so that we'll go feed farm to feed our family. But all the hard work we don't put in. See, under how many days now, the herdsmen don't carry their crops, scatter everywhere for the farm. You need to see the loss we be said in cure because most of the cassava plants, they need to stand again. The malu, they don't scatter everything, finish from inside the farm. Some people even take loan to farm like that. Now, for inside Akure, now Akure people they protest today, say they not go do again. That insecurity in their land is too much. Every day they kidnap them. Take a listen to a few youths who are protest for inside Akure. I think they say this place is very close to them. Let me see. I don't know why they do. Okay, that's it. That's it there. Okay. So all right, so most of them they complain say they don't go their farms anymore, and they've been kidnapping and killing their people in Ondo State here. And you know, say recently these attacks don't do more around Oyo, Ondo areas as it did for Kwara and Kogi now. We don't get more attacks. So is it going to stop? Enugu is also suffering same thing now. Now the reason that woman is crying, she says if she says anything, the next thing they will kill her and her family. So she's even worried and scared. So how do you think we'll keep managing this situation like this without complaining? Another reason why I said this is because in River State, where I come from, people are already complaining that there is infiltration of these same headers into farms in River State. If you talk, now Allah. So how is it going to stop? They are everywhere and not living peacefully with the owners of the land.
Let the government kickstart the state police.
But the government has not done that.
They will do that. I have seen movements across rural areas. I've seen names being composed. I've seen a lot that tells me in the next 30 to 60 days, you will see those things across the country. The government has been dragging its foot, and that's probably a consequence of, as I said earlier, the overpopulation of top tiers of government by sympathizers of these jihadists and terrorists. The national life is riddled with these people everywhere. And that's why we seem to be at a crossroad in this country. But I have no doubts, very soon something will give. Something will give.
All right, sir. So looking at the 2027 election, again, waiting be our hope of indeed rescuing this country through election. That's another question altogether. Yesterday, we heard that Atiku had a high-level delegation meeting of some top ADC members, and he did promise them that he would rescue Nigeria from APC by the grace of God. Peter Obi was in Abuja, where he helped the campaign for the FCT people, then when they do election. And Peter Obi also blast President Bola Tinubu recently, where he said to make he stay one place, make he stay for Nigeria, solve the problem of Nigeria instead of traveling. So how are we sure that 2027 would actually give us that result that we need to rescue our country?
Well, 2027 won't give you what you want if you don't work at it. Nigerians are full of talks, but the actions, they don't see it. The current help we have with the intervention of the US forces, Nigerians,
Okay,
you
sir.
see, the Nigerians are not doing things to help themselves yet. So I believe we just have to continue to work hard until we are able to get this thing well. If you ask me, I will tell you our people are not yet doing what I believe that we should do. Okay,
What is it that we should do that we're not doing, sir?
we're not yet there.
What is it that we need to do, sir?
I'm listening.
I said,
We're
what is
not
it that
there
we need to
yet.
do that we're not doing it? If you can hear me, what do you think, in your opinion, that we need to do that we're yet to do, or that we need to do differently?
It froze.
Sorry, so sorry. It's so hard. Can
It
you hear me now? Is
froze.
it better now? Oh dear, sincere apologies. All right. So a lot has been happening in Nigeria. By the way, while that one they happen, make a quickly play on a video. We don't they make the round as Nigerians in ginger. They say, why this kind of thing go happen? They never seen it happen before. How they go they line up the welcome Baba? They tell them farewell. They see the line of the welcome song. Top politicians. Here in a picture of Sheyi being welcomed by top politicians for northern Nigeria. And this one raised a lot of wahala. Nigerians don't complain well about them, say this kind of thing. Why it be say it happen? People don't even compare, say, well, they didn't see this happen in Obasanjo's administration, neither did we see it happen in Jonathan's administration or Buhari's administration. Why not? Where you see top politicians put red carpets, line up to welcome President Son as waiting and waiting people they ask be that, and you can see that that's Sheyi Tinubu. That's the video. But I think Dr. Catch has rejoined us. Let's quickly let him land his thoughts on what he was saying. Hello, sir. Welcome back, sir. You did
Yes.
smile. You did see your guys Sheyi Tinubu. So, but it shouldn't be a problem. Why are Nigerians complaining about that, though? Shouldn't be a problem.
Well,
If they give him the treatment they give to his father, it's a crime.
it's a mirror. It's a mirror of society. It mirrors the level of psychophancy that you have in the
Ew. Oh, this network no go let us hear this English of psychophancy. I don't tire. What is this? What in the network problem is
it
this?
also
Okay,
shows you, well,
okay, sir.
the networks, this shows you that the Tinubu dynasty is actually taking shape. That's what it is. You know, a dynasty with the son, You have also a wife. So everybody seeks for their own platforms. The
A dynasty.
daughter,
So the first daughter takes care of the market, the son takes care
that
of one
is it.
aspect, wife takes care of one
Exactly.
aspect. Are you serious, sir?
Well, you're seeing it in your before your eyes. So if
Hmm.
somebody says that things
A
have
dynasty on
degenerated,
Nigeria's wealth and resources at the expense of the people of Nigeria.
that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing. Okay, that's what you're seeing. So, but I think if we work at it, we can beat this back. For me, it's nothing compared to the evils of the Buhari years. You know, I was so upset about the shedding of blood, which was actively promoted by the Buhari administration. You know, with all sorts of, you know, sting operations and covert options. Can't you see now Buhari is gone and we have some semblance of peace?
But
It
people are
even
saying
took the Americans.
people think that more people are dying now.
I don't
People think
think
that more people
so.
are dying now by the reports we get. More people are
No, no,
dying.
no. What you're seeing now is there is more reports today of these unlawful killings. During the Buhari days, the media houses were frightened into silence. They were told not to report the things they see. And the media houses, whoever goes out of line to report, and that was how bad it got, to the extent the soldiers were even told not to react to those who shoot them until the politicians give the go ahead for them to engage. This is how bad it was. You know, under Buhari, the security services were destroyed. Look, all institutions that serve the country were just destroyed. Buhari didn't care. And that's what I say. Despite Tinubu's incompetence, his government is not as bad as the Tinubu's, as the Buhari's catastrophe. So we've been to the mountain, and now that we're coming back from the mountain, we can say the things we saw, and of course, share it with those that who didn't climb the mountain with us. I think today is better. Nigeria is much better today than it was during the Buhari administration, even though a lot of the devils are still all over the place because Tinubu is so weak, he's not able to be decisive. Imagine what would be and where we would be if the Americans hadn't come to stop the jihadist movement. With Tinubu so incompetent in reacting to the Fulani crisis, where would we be today? Why I would say, for whatever it's worth, we're better now than before. We can plan from where we are now to make it better, but never to go back to yesterday. We
So
don't
some
need to
people
go
would
back.
when you say Tinubu has been incompetent, some people will say that he's been the most, the most intelligent president we've had, and the one with the most mind. Yes, sir. Eh. Because in talks saying that him do policies when no other government don't get the mind to do. In carrying get mind implement
That's
policies when
not
nobody
true.
don't implement before. And imagine,
What
see how
what
strategically bring all the governors under him. In fact, for River State now, governor and the minister they fight over him. Who go work for him? You see, so he's the greatest gamer of all people. So he's the most intelligent politician we've ever voted into power. So how would such a person be incompetent?
he is incompetent in dealing with Nigeria's diverse problems. It's one thing for a man to be trickish and be a genius in terms of exhibiting the devil's workshop, but it takes a different kettle of fish to fix society and make society to work efficiently for the people. It takes an honest man. Okay, you need to be honest to be able to do a lot of these things. Your actions will simply see the population follow you. But where everything you do must be trickery, everything you do must be a plot, to undermine somebody for you to gain advantage, and then you have issues. We have issues. Whether anybody likes it or not, Nigeria has issues. Nigeria is currently very challenged. We pray it gets better. And you are talking, most of it are part of praises and jargon that people speak. If he was that competent, how come the Americans came here? How come he wasn't able to resolve this issue? The basic duty of a president is to provide for the security of the people's lives and properties. And if he failed in this sense, where is the competence? If he took the Americans to even help him to secure lives and property, where is the competence? Where is the competence? Tell me. So it's easy having coercive institutions like the army, the police, and all those people, EFCC, to force people into line. It's a
Hmm.
different kettle of fish when you actually have to calibrate, strategies and force good for society everywhere. But once society says that you are challenged, some might even take after your ways. And when they take after your ways, everything will be kata kata everywhere. So I really don't, I don't give in to those praise singers who say what they say. Tinubu is employed to govern. So all the admirations and calculations, interrogations, and judgments should be on his ability to govern. Govern in a way that you bring advantage to the people. Govern in a way that you secure lives and properties. I think that's what we should be looking at.
All right, sir. Before I open the phone lines, because I don't want us to dwell on other issues for too long, what's your take on what's going on in Anambra State with Soludo and the Onitsha main market traders as he closed the markets because of say that is they say that they kill the economy of the state with the sit at home orders. The traders have now pleaded and said they will not do sit at home again. We should open the market. He said he's going to shut it down for 1 month, 1 week. He will open it up on Monday. That Monday wouldn't be sit at home. If they no come market that Monday, he will close them down for 1 month. Since they won't sit at home, make them go sit at home. In fact, he even threatened that he may demolish the market or take over most of the shops in the market. Um, Even though people are saying that it's within their rights to decide whether they want to have any civil disobedience in line with what they support or not, but people are saying that indeed that they are impoverishing their own people with the sit at home. Let me take your thought on that, sir.
The issues of people's emotions, their fears, and their calculations, it also depends on how the government do it. I will give an example of the Imo state government. The way I saw Governor Zodema did it, he engaged the communities in a series of stakeholder meetings, told them what he was doing, and then they now confessed. The village leaders, the community leaders told them what the problem is, and they confront him with it. And he found out that a lot of the people causing this crisis are people him, the governor, can actually control. He took measures, and those controls were put in, and there was peace. The people on their own will start going to do this. So if Soludo thinks he can get it by force without engaging and talking to them, I don't think that's the right thing to do. Continue, start talking to them, not giving them instructions. Let them that tell you where the issues. They know quite a lot. They know those who play enforcers. They know all sorts of miscreants. When you engage them in stakeholder meeting, they will share things with you, tell you what they know. You as a governor that also can do quite a lot of things that most basic people won't do, will then find ways to deal with it. If there are particular people, they mention their names, you find ways to do with it, because only the state can levy force and violence, engage them that way. Then I don't see anything big in it, because the traders are not happy to be killing that particular Monday. But don't forget, this has happened before. He told them to come out and trade. As they came out to trade, customers were killed, traders were kidnapped
Hmm.
and killed, and nothing happened.
Hmm.
Now, those
The
previous
security not is
experiences
guaranteed.
are the reasons why,
Hmm.
when you talk to them today, they don't want to listen, because they will ask you, how are you going to stop these crooked enforcers that will come after we, the leaders, when we obey what you do? I think he has to work with the market people, talk to them, let them also confess certain things that he might act upon to actually arrest a lot of the activities that add to their fears. I don't think there's any magic bullet to it. Toledo should learn what happens in Imo State. Imo has virtually gotten over its own. As I speak to you right now, there is work along the Hiala Olu Road, and vehicles are moving from Mbidi straight.
Oh dear, that's work. Okay, so Nigerians phone lines are open. Let me just seize the opportunity to tell you that phone lines are open. You can jump in the conversation.
You know, a lot of the things I know, or you see,
Hmm.
Soludo knows what I know, that since Buhari left, he doesn't need to fear, security operatives who are involved in the covert operations of enforcing sit at home. And that's why you see him now trying to forcefully tell the marketers, come out. These people have gone, they won't come again. That is the truth. So but there is a way to do it. There is a way to do it.
But he's never even
There's a way
accepted
to
that there
do
were
it.
people doing it. He said that 99.9% of the crime in the southeast is by Umu. That's what he said. He blames the Igbo youth for all the crime.
Soludo, yeah, Soludo was saying that as a way to curry favor.
To curry favor.
Me and you are told you don't blame him. How Igbo leaders won't even speak. How Christian leaders will go mute. It's all part of it. The space Christian leaders, a lot of them react to say a thing. Or they can experience very terrible issues. And so people are actually under a lot of strain. And I think people should understand that these are not very good times for this country. Okay? We're pretentiously going through it. What gives a lot of us hope is American and Israeli intervention. Of course, you can see the kind of reaction that is now bringing from some of our Muslim brothers. They talk out of anger. They say things that normally they shouldn't say. How can you say, after 12 years of Muslims running the ballot and the electoral commission, you now say you won't accept anything a Christian headed institution does in terms of election? Huh? What kind of silly talk is that? Very reckless, very reckless. So society is going through, as I said before, a historical, touching, and very, very difficult time in Nigeria.
All right. So one more thing I want from you is this case of Igboho. So Igboho then come out and from wanted list recently, and he came amidst rousing welcome, for inside Nigeria.
Well,
People say, sir, okay. People compared it to Nnamdi Kanu. That's what's the difference between the agitations? Why wasn't Nnamdi Kanu treated differently? Or is it that the Igbo leaders did not do enough like the Yoruba leaders did for Igbo?
that is the word.
Hmm.
Nnamdi Kanu was treated. Nnamdi Kanu was treated the way he was treated just because he's Igbo. Okay? You can see how Bello Turuji is being treated, and you can see how Gumi is treated. And then the Yoruba leaders now went to beg, and Igboho is free. So, but that doesn't mean that Igboho has changed. No, no, no. Igboho is only free to come and organize in a way that, because they know they need him. People like Igboho are very difficult to come by in societies like ours. He has unusual courage. He can do quite a lot of organizings. I think
Hmm.
now you will see an infusion of better, intelligent logistics people to guide him, because the Yorubas are actually getting ready for exit from Nigeria should it come. Everybody is very, very ready, because
Hmm.
eventualities are what we think might settle the Nigerian conundrum.
Thank you, sir. Nigerians phone lines are open. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Precious. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You're welcome, sir. Go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this me, this Ken Agulu. I'm in Washington, D.C. And yeah, I work for Department of War, Office of Secretary of War. So I have to tell you what the big intelligence, high intelligence officer we are saying, and I can hear them saying that. First one, Tinubu cannot meet the president. They deny him meeting the president. They also deny him meeting the vice president. They
Why?
told him,
Why? He's a president of a sovereign country. Why would they do that?
I'm not telling them what I'm meeting. But Trump already said that you are a shithole and you're a disgraced country. They know everything about him. Okay? I'm telling you from the right source. Now, they told him that Nigeria is 60% Christian, that he must have a Christian vice president. He knows that. Tinubu is scared of coming to America because he doesn't know what's going to happen to him. He cannot predict Trump, and he knows that. Okay? So, all this stuff is saying Nigeria is sharing intelligence. None of them are. America don't let them share. America does not share intelligence with them. You remember I told you last year about the Chibok gas. Okay? When the American came to defense headquarters and show those lieutenant general that were there how they're going to capture those girls with tear gas. The next day, they provided those bandits with maps. So America know they can forget about what they're telling you. They share it. They don't share anything. America cannot share intelligence with Nigeria because they don't trust them, and they will never share that. They're holding Tinubu to his trouble. They must get a vice president that is a Christian. He has no choice. And that's gonna boomerang, and that's gonna boomerang his electability in the north. Okay, so that's what is happening. All those stuff they're doing, they don't do. America doesn't share anything with them. So this is a fact, and I'm telling you from the right source. I work in Pentagon, Office of Secretary of War. So this is fact.
All right.
Now let's go to Soludo. I'm assuming that Soludo is the Chief Security Officer of Anambra State.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Yes, and also he has proven it because he has getting the army, the vigilante and all police and everything. So he has proven it that he's in control of the security in Anambra State. But let me ask you, do you think that those traders don't like to go and trade on Monday? They love to do. But who is providing security for them? If they go out there and get killed, will Soludo replace their lives? Okay? So he needs to do the needful. Care of the security to assure those traders their life is safe. You cannot just come and say you're shutting it down. And people die. There's a woman, if you go to the social media, a woman was crying over there at somewhere in Onitsha, Mbuka or whatever. Okay? They kidnapped the man, and nothing happened up to today. A lot of people they have killed because they want to come out on absolute done to get to the bottom of it. All he has to do is to go shut it down. If you don't do anything, I'll close it and demolish it. Because he's getting the second time, right? You remember election is coming though. You need people in the Senate, you need people in your party in the Senate as of Assembly, as of Rep.
All right, sir. Thank you,
So
sir.
we're gonna see what's gonna happen.
Thank you.
That is a pure reality. Okay?
Thank you,
so
sir.
I know you can be able to provide those towns of military, police, and everything. Why can't you provide them every Monday to make sure that everybody is secure? They can do that.
All right, sir.
That is nonsense, in my opinion.
Thank
That's
you,
all
sir.
I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Dr. Kaj, if what he says is true, that the United States is pressurizing President Bola Tinubu to ensure he goes with a Christian vice president, and the North, no one even hear him. If you notice, the North don't talk on so many times recently, especially say if you no get a northern Muslim, say he no go fit get votes or not. But again, the question I say, I don't want saying at the mind of the North, because some people will call on temerity of the North to give condition on say if you no involve them, you no go get votes. Why Christians no fit talk say if you no get a Christian candidate or you no get a Christian southerner, a northerner no go fit win election? Why it be say if you reach for time to give conditions, Christians then they give condition for Nigeria? Why not only northerners they fit give condition of waiting them want? Because people have said it that he must get a candidate from a northern Islamic majority, Kanuri, Fulani, all of those places, unless he no go win election. And it must be. So how it is say this one go? Don't be trapped when they not say for Tinubu like this. US they wait for a one corner. Northerners they wait for a one corner. I won't do himself like this, so now.
Well, I think your mindset is also part of the problem. You're talking of not. Who is the not? Is it when Fulani leaders make noise, you say that's a not? Where are the Biron people? Are they not part of the North? The Angas people, are they not North? The TV, and they don't North? The
Then be
Bachama, are they
Christians.
not North?
Then be Christians. They
Listen,
say northern
it
Muslim.
doesn't matter. Hear me now. They are
Muslim
Christians.
minority.
They
Majority.
are Northerners. They are Northerners. The majority of the population of the North live in the Middle Belt. The Middle Belt is a Christian majority area. Understand that. The fact that the Fulani have schemed themselves and everything about North, they tell you they are the North. If you ask them what about these people, say no, we are the North. Remember, it has happened under during Obasanjo. Obasanjo so who are the North? He say we are the North. He say these people from Kaduna, they not say no, they are not North. This is what me and you should not promote. Some people in the North have said they want full advantage. Only a Northern should it be. But of course, you will ask, he won't vote. In the last election, did Tinubu win it? Remember the controversies that led to his acrobatic declaration. So the elections are not won by what the people voted. Tinubu's case. It was what was written. And now that he's the one going to write it himself, I don't really know where these threats are coming from. Even if Tinubu, like, he makes 20 vice presidents who are Muslims, you think that would change what those Northerners who are intent on their own person controlling power will do? No. So don't be giving us a man who's already planning to travel to Norway. You see, he has already bought ticket, but he's here telling you, threatening you, and if you do, I will go to Norway. He has already bought ticket going to Norway. So why are you mentioning him again? And that's all part of the mind games that these people play with us. Okay? The Fulani are not the North. They are just an ethnic group, mostly Sunni Muslims. The North, who is the biggest ethnicity in the North? The Hausa. After that, the TV. And you have people, you have the Jokun, so you have Kanuri. So the Fulani are not the largest. Because of the way the British designed Nigeria to fail, that's why we're having this conversation. And don't forget that on a program I said yesterday that the problem was created by the British who designed Nigeria to fail because when they won the mandate in Berlin to come to Nigeria and organize colonial administration, they employed the Fulani to help them supervise over the Hausa in what we refer to in history as indirect rule. But when they finally left, calling it end of colonial rule, it was only the South that was free. The Hausa Bokwe states were still being colonized till this day by the Fulani. And that's what the Fulani used to undermine the North, undermine the country. And that's why we are in this current quagmire that we are discussing about every day. So the North is a geographical area with diverse heterogeneous populations, a lot of people. So don't just call one group and say they're the North. They're not the North. The North is large, diverse. You need to understand it. All sorts of people, animists. You have it, the Maguzawa. You have Christians, places like Benue, Plateau, Taraba, Southern Kaduna, massive Christian populations up to going or as much as 90%, 98%, like in Benue State. So it's not that. So let one group, a pressure group, not speak and you tell us it is not. What can that be? So let's leave this alone
All right,
and
sir.
think
All right.
about the country in proper sense. Yeah.
All right, sir. Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello, yeah, good evening, breakfast.
Yes, you're welcome. This
yeah,
Marvelous. Marvelous, you're welcome.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah. Good evening, Dr. Kash, yeah. I just have some few questions. Yeah. The first question is, which I want to put across is, does Nigeria have a body that regulates how much, like, have a body that regulates the amount of money the president, the Senate, the House of Reps, the Assembly receive that regulates it? Do Nigeria have that body that like do the whole thing as well?
Wait, that is, you get the body way, whether Nigeria get body where they regulate the amount where the presidency, the executive, and legislative supposed to spend.
Yes, yeah, supposed to spend, or whether they receive as salary or something like that.
Well, make a leg Dr. Catch answer you.
Just take,
Okay. Okay, what will be your second question? What will be your second question?
So the second question I get there, the taste of this food do maybe like authoritarian, because I see that stuff like not like a dictator, like they try to control people life. Because for me, I see this thing say yes, now private business be this. Private business, now your choice. Anytime you like, you go open your shop. The day when you don't feel like you stay in your house. Abi? So if these people are not government workers, they don't work under him. I don't make you understand me now. So
Go ahead.
can these people not take him to court? Can they not take him to court and charge him for this or something like that? And then can they not sue him for it?
All right. Thank you. Is that all?
Yeah, that's the second question. Then the third one again. So how can we enlighten Nigerians for them to wake up regarding this Turkish deal? Because for me, what I'm seeing now, America is already in, like Dr. said, America is already in Nigeria. The Israelis are already in Nigeria. Then this guy is not going again now to go bring the Turkish in inside Nigeria. Like you said, are this thing now the direction that is it not going towards a war or something now?
All right. Thank you.
Let me say you have these three powers now, like coming to play inside Nigeria. Because for me, because I'm looking at that now I keep using that word, I don't believe we have leaders. We have veterans, or people that can stand. People that can stand to help us, that can lead Nigerians on the right direction. So because, sorry, that's the third one. Then the fourth one, the tax into this tax law, the tax law or whatever. I asked the other day, is this offense is not impeachable offense.
All right, thank you. You don't do that. Make you not ask too much question. Make Kofi answer and finish now.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Dr. Kachi, do quickly just run through his questions, the different questions he's asked so far. Dr. Kachi, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hmm.
I can hear you.
Okay. Did you get his questions?
What's your question?
Okay, one, he did ask, before I forget now, he did ask about Soludo, that can't the traders sue him to court, because shouldn't they have the right to do what they want to do with themselves? He did also ask about Turkey, US, and Israel coming to play in Nigeria. Not be war, we won't happen for Nigeria. They won't use us to do test ground for war. And he did ask about the tax reform, that the fact that there's been alterations in the gazetted tax laws, is it not an impeachable offense? And why are Nigerians not acting? I think that was the last one. I think I missed that out. If you're there, please kindly do me a message. Let me be sure I get that right. So go ahead, sir. Before you're done responding to this, I'm sure he'll get back.
One, the tax issue. You can call it what you want, but then we don't know yet what it is. The president could claim that it's an error by the government printer's office. They can claim anything. They can say, look, they signed it, but it's a mistake in the printing office. And that's exactly what I've been hearing. When I discuss in serious circle, they say, look, what if it's a mistake? I just ignore it.
But not that
The
kind of
fact
mistake that would that would involve paragraphs.
Listen, that's exactly the reasons why, even if it was a devil's job, who came there, some devil, and did that, the government can claim that it was done on purpose just to set it in bad light. The important thing is we have raised our voices and it has now been stopped and they're going to do the right thing. That's how it is.
But
The other
they
one
started
about
implementing it
Soludo,
already. They've started implementation already. They've started implementation
no,
already.
it's not been implemented.
Oh,
No, it's not.
from
It
this
was stepped
January
down.
salary, the payee tax has already been effected. The the tax law on the payee has already been effected from the salaries of civil servants.
I don't know about that.
I'm
I
just telling
don't
you.
know about
Like
that.
you
What
said.
I know is that the president says that the thing should be stepped down until the corrections are dotted. The issues about PE is a different issue. They could do that by simple proclamation. But let us see the tax law, okay? And then see what is not embedded. Because don't forget, when crisis will arise, you will need to go take that literature and then read through it in order to deal with that crisis whenever disagreements come from such crisis. So for me, I will just tell Nigerians that don't mind the politicians. You can see Soludo behaving like, what do you call it now? Like an emperor. Of course, that's Africa for you. Elected people behaving like they are autocratic emperors. What can you say? But of course, he will learn on the job. And that's what I believe.
So he also did ask a question if there is an empire or umpire that that regulates the amount of money the executive and legislature should spend, and also that regulates their salaries.
Yes.
Okay. And then why
On
are they not?
that
Why
issue,
do we have them spending
on
money
that
arbitrarily?
issue, don't forget
Hmm.
the legislature, there is actually a commission that
The Revenue Mobilization and
does
Payment Commission.
superintend and does exactly. But they, of course, you know what legislators are. When something doesn't exist and they want it to come into being, they will legislate it. And when they legislate it and it is printed as it is being done, it will be.
Oh dear. Another network marathon. Sincere apologies. So let me just bring in Tiwa Danjuma whilst we wait for Dr. Kacha's network to get back. Tiwa Danjuma, good evening and welcome. No vex. Thank network issue today. It's so sad. Well, this is what we enjoy in Nigeria, abundance of network. 5G. Today I saw in the news that they said that nobody will they use 5G phone or 5G gadgets will they get 5G network for Nigeria. I couldn't doubt it because I know I'm a testament to that, to the fact that that's nearly impossible in Nigeria. Welcome to White Anjuma. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Good evening. Nigeria is backwards now. People say they used 3G for Nigeria. You can't use it here; it doesn't work. So we have a very long way to go. But
You know the
that's
5G was the problem for us because we here say the spiritual power has been there involved for 5Gs before. You don't know 5G when a
no,
COVID-19 bring an spiritual power. You don't know 5G. You're not involved. You're not aware.
leave Nigeria matter. We're not serious because the whole world don't advance past us. Wait, what have you want to ask doctor? Let me greet him first.
We'll come back.
Dr.
His
Khan,
network is
greetings and precious greetings too, and our viewers. Question when I want to ask, while we're busy, focused on insurrection, banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, and Trump or no Trump, the political class is gradually consolidating their power and their stranglehold on the politics of this nation. And we don't know. If you look now,
I say we don't know. Where did they bring their sons? Their sons now the contest election. They didn't win.
That is what I'm trying to say.
They know that. But now never know rich.
If you look at the build up, Obasanjo's daughter Yabo has now gone to is going to APC. Atiku's son is APC. El-Rufai's son is APC. Wike's son is probably going to APC. Because he's no longer in PDP. Mahi's son is joining. Oji Carlos' son, daughter is an ambassador. Ibori's daughter is there. Tinubu's son is angling to join the fray. Okowa's daughter is there. Uduaga's daughter is there. And we're all sitting and looking.
David Mark's daughter, you missed that.
Fine. There's a long list. And we're just pretending and thinking, or we're just there thinking that these people, there's a fight. We have to fight. This thing is not only a fight. Now go chase these people out. They are not kidding. We're just looking at the INEC, no INEC. If you do this one,
it on your faces, and you guys are doing nothing about it. That's why it's painful. Let me bring Dr. Catch back into the studio.
Yeah, so I hope he's hearing me. Wike they are positioning themselves in the judiciary and so on and so forth, so that anywhere you go, So for me, I think this fight would really have to tear down this system, because otherwise, these people are not going to give up. You had somebody saying that he has made all the money in this world, that they ask me for anything. I'm dangerous now. The serving minister. And nobody has challenged him.
He said that he's dangerous now. That he has 10 times more capacity than he had when he was governor.
Professor by experience. So you are supposed to be interrogating and saying, let us look at this, our Lagos Calabar coastal highway, and look at the contract and see whether or not there, or whether or not the Badagry Sokoto this thing. Because if a man stands who is not doing any job and is telling you that he has this kind of monumental amount of money, EFCC is supposed to be going after him. And yet, everybody just thinks in a child's play. There's a fight.
Dr. Catch, while you were away, why don't you raise the conversation? I don't know if you've noticed too that these our politicians don't gradually bring in their children to take over from them. We will begin to serve them. I showed you the video of Sheyi Tinubu when he talked just now. There was a reason I showed that video. Because right now, Omar, his son, bought an APC chairmanship form for 30 million naira, and he won the primaries. Now he be the person where they hold the primaries this thing now for APC, for chairman. So he's definitely going to be the next local government chairman of our house, his local government. And Wike's son is going for House of Rep. He's 24 years, a 25 years son. He's going for House of Rep. We've had so many of them now bringing their children. We have the Boris daughter already there, El-Rufai's son already there, and all that. So Should Nigerians be worried, or what should Nigerians do? Because it's not like their father served us right. So these children are coming to continue from where their father stopped. So are we just going to continue with this again? Our own children now will continue from where we start from to begin battle their children. Is that what it's going to be like? That's the question T.Y. Danjuma asked. I don't know if you can hear me, sir. This network. It's freezing. It's freezing. T.Y. Danjuma, you may need to come on your his network is better.
Yeah, so while we're waiting for him, the other issue that I want to put on you see, is the Mwike issue, which is another cancer that if it's not properly dealt with, is going to.
I can't take that from you.
No, I'm saying the truth, because the man is desperate. He's now in a situation where Yoruba will say, if I don't have it, kubaje from everybody. Let it spoil for everybody, just like he did in PDP. That's the character of the man. I'm sorry, but that's the kind of person your uncle is. If I can't get it, let everybody lose. Look at what is happening in where is the minister, Federal Capital Territory, unpaid salaries for 5 months. Even the 7,000 minimum wage that he's supposed to pay is not paying it. He has not implemented it.
Is the wage allowance is winning?
Yes, he has not. 3 years unemployment. 3 years he hasn't paid. He has pension unpaid. 3 years.
And salary arrears. That is a
salary arrears. Overhead costs to departments. He hasn't been like hospital and so on. You go there, you don't see anything. No hospital. Workers are intimidated if you talk. They're ready to send you to court. And so on and so forth. And yet they hail them, selling land and all the atrocities where they commit, giving out land, demolishing people's property. So that's a cancer. And the man who put him there, who is supposed to say, listen, enough of this nonsense that you're doing, apart from the one that you're doing in Rivers. Enough of this nonsense. Now you either face your work or you go. And it's not saying anything to him. He's not even there in action. He's missing in action. Because this man, what would they see? If you look at the way he was working in Turkey, you see how Erdogan, the Holland. It was the moment where Erdogan don't leave him. Now we see the Dobale when you do.
Why you talk like this now? Madam Abigail Dabiri talked something today. Now she talks saying no media for Turkey even cover the event at all. Only we Nigerians now I like to cover this kind of thing. It was
no lie. It's all over the world.
That's unfortunately, different media outlets cover and plenty media outlets
everywhere. All this one that they say, this person fall, Biden fall, this people they fall. No lie. This kind fall, they fall, they stand up. This kind fall, you go say just
stand up, carry on, continue in waka. It stands
you
up,
will,
run.
You will see that even before this.
Something like this they talk about.
Yes. See waka, kuruke waka. See how the man they hold on. See. A whole president, my own president, now they do like this. No, my own president. Now they go do this kind of thing too. And
all right, let me bring it up to catch.
Okay, and you will see if you watch very carefully. If like say something don't happen when the man take the whole land, like maybe something before this video, they see something where they did somewhere. But like say something don't happen. That's why the man they the whole land make come baje, make the whole land make go on motor. The time when you just leave the motor now, you see what will happen. Because usually in meetings like this, you go see somebody they close to Baba. Go the whisper to around what you go talk, particularly when there's no teleprompter, or go the hold on so that maybe in ADC or something, so that not be Turkey is not the place to go and Dobale now. That's not the place to do that. You can do that styling for Nigeria, but for another man country, that's the way you do. You get a CP. Baba don't tire.
All right.
Body.
So Dr. Catch, he asked a few questions. One, the one we talked about the politicians incorporating their children into the system. And secondly, he called somebody cancer. He said there's a cancer that needs to be handled in Nigeria. He said Wike is the cancer. I don't know I don't know who Wike is and why he had to say that is a cancer. Then what he sees as public international embarrassment of Nigeria in Turkey.
I think what he's trying to sell you is that Wike is a metaphor for how bad the politics has become.
Oh,
You can
Chineke.
see
This one come back past
it's
cancer now.
well, it's a metaphor for how bad it has become. And but you also need to blame us, the society. Why did we keep quiet for the things to get this bad?
Hmm.
You know, you also need to look at society itself. We were at some point enablers of how this thing has become.
Oh, this network again.
Society
Okay, sir.
gets the kind of politicians. It is still Nigerians that take money and then work to bring this kind of people to power. So let's just say politically we are at a low because this is the point where we threw caution to the wind and just accepted anything. It has caught up with us. That's all I have to say.
Dr. Catch, another question, because sometimes we trivialize issues that are very, very serious. Is it right? How did you look at a statement credited to one of the president's spokesperson where say, oh, for that VIP carpet that you usually sweep and make sure there's no obstruction, nothing that we can see. Somebody is saying that they put one metal something there, so I make the president stumble. How do you react to that? Does it make sense?
That is the quality of people the president hired. So when you see them spin what they spin, it is the quality of the persons. And how will I react? It is what Nigeria has become. This what you even hearing him talk like that is better than the ones that used to ask us, why did you go to the farm? Who gave you permission to go to the farm? Who said they can go to the farm? Giving us reasons that why did farmers go to farm? So if they are killed by Fulani militias, and that they shouldn't have gone to farm at the time when they went to the farm. So we get all this kind of people who come to TV and say, look, if you want your life, consider your land. This is what's said by a presidential spokesperson, that if you want your life, concede the land for the sake of keeping your life. This is how low this country has come. And even have those who go up stoking up bigotry and ethnic hate, telling people, no, 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 we can't allow you come to this Lagos and vote the way you want to. If you're not going to vote for us, don't come out to vote. We can't guarantee your safety. Such presidential spokespeople are available. So, what I'm trying to tell you is these things are manifestations of how low we have come as a society. What they say on the streets of Nigeria, you don't see and finish. There's nothing left to say. We can now make informed judgments about the Nigerian experiment towards country. We now know it has failed. But then it was failed because it was designed to fail. Okay, it was designed to fail. So what do we now do? We should be discussing about the next chapter, not overflogging a dead horse. We should be discussing the next chapter because that's where we are. You've seen Fulani leaders come together and say, no, 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 we're not going to accept the breakup. That's where we are. That's where, whether you like it or not, that is the most serious conversation today across Nigeria. Some who are getting to eat late, people accost me every morning, afternoon. They say, what do I feel? I say, don't worry. You listen to it. You like what you hear. Organize yourself. Work at it. It is getting there. And people are organizing. And what I tell them is go talk to yourselves, organize. We have reached the end of experimentation about becoming Nigerian. So if it didn't work, there's nothing wrong with us going our separate ways. Our properties everywhere will be like a property of Nigerian in Ghana. or Benin Republic. We will all still belong to ECOWAS. We will all still belong to the African Union. So for me, life goes on no matter what it comes to. I am just reviewing how we've been and thinking about how we're going to go forward from here.
Doctor, I know that you are a diehard optimist when it comes to Nigeria, its survival
Exactly.
and so on.
I am.
Now, when you get to the point where you are saying it's almost over, that means we really have a problem that is probably reversible. Do you think that there is a way to fix this mess? Do you think that there's still time for northern leaders, particularly the Fulanis, to come together to say, listen, this cannot go on again. We have to stop this mess. Do you think that there is a chance that we get to that point? Because it appears that that's the only thing that can maybe assuage those people who are angling and saying, it's enough to your tent, O Israel.
I don't know. I am not in the mind of Fulani leaders, but I know most people seek Nigeria on their own terms. The Fulani seek Nigeria, as they say, to continue where the British stopped. And that's where Nigerians don't want. And because we've seen Muslims don't accept equality, they've never done. And that's where I think we're going to have these issues. If a man who has never accepted equality with other human beings is confronted with the choice, he will probably say, no, 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 I can't be equal to you. No matter what they say, we can't be equal. And so when they insist that they will never accept equality with other human beings, which is fundamentally the Fulani problem in Nigeria, they don't want to accept equality with us indigenous people. And that's why we have these issues. They seek Nigeria as a vassal state where they own, and that state they own, we must succumb to what they say. So if we refuse, you're not asking me, do I think? No, I don't think. If a man tries to kill you and some way, somehow, the bullet misses your neck, the right thing.
That point, that point was the answer to your question. Dr. Kash, I don't know if you can hear me. I think the answer to your question is just on that point he was about to make.
Yeah, but he has made it clear, I mean, we can understand. So it's up to Nigerians, because the storms are gathering. And I think that it's going to rain very soon. It's going to rain very soon. And it's going to be terrible. And on that note, I greet you. Dr. Kai, thank you. And good
Thank
night.
you. Thank you so much, T. White and Juma. I appreciate you big time. It's always a pleasure to have you join us and have you share your insights with us. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Dr. Katch, can you hear us? The network disappeared again. I don't know what to do with the network today. I don't
I
know what to
can
do with
hear
the
you. The
network.
network.
So you were saying
The
something.
network is better today. It is better today compared to the past. It's good.
Okay, sir. So you were making an analogy about a bullet, somebody trying to shoot you and he escapes your neck, and then what you should do next. We didn't hear that.
If a man tries to shoot you, to kill you, and the bullet misses your neck, the right thing for you to do is to bail away from where that person is. He intends to kill you because next time you may not be lucky to miss the bullets.
Hmm.
That's what I think. That's where I think we are right now in Nigeria.
Hmm. So that means it may not be redeemable anymore if we
Yeah,
continue.
because you're dealing with people who historically never accept equality with other human beings. If they don't accept equality and have never done it, how are you going to live together with such people? How would you live together? That's just a question.
But
If
how
they,
is it that how is it that anybody how is it that the president of the country is oblivious of this? How is it possible? And if
well,
he is, how come he's still perhaps acting to us like he doesn't know what's going on? Because the body
well,
language that say everything normal, we know they see all these things they happen. So it can't be like some of these things when they talk in the news.
no, because he has a different course of action. We are thinking about judging his actions and using our judgment of his actions to think whether we can base on his continued being to be president. He doesn't care. He doesn't. He just knows you can seize it by force, and we can make the noise we want. He just keeps doing what he wants. That's what I said. So now he's just playing us the balancing game. You know, okay, you're complaining. The Americans, Israelis came for Christians. Okay, what do you want, Muslims? Go to Turkey. Turkey are helping us. Turkey is supplying us weapons for the jihad. Go to Turkey. Listen to what Turkey has to say. Okay, okay. I will go to Turkey if that would make you feel comfortable. And that's what he has done. So for me, Tinubu just plays politics. He doesn't govern. He doesn't govern.
I mean, so he's just playing politics without really governing Nigeria.
Exactly.
And he's very good at politics. No wahala. Good evening and welcome. Good evening, Davos.
Thank you, Auntie Precious.
Yes, you're welcome. Go ahead very quickly.
I will not say much, but you have wonderful guests in your online.
Thank you.
Dr. Kaji, also one I've always admired, and Tio Danjuma, very good analyst as well.
Thank you.
Doing a good job. Quick one. I don't know, Auntie Precious, have you ever taken your phone to Google the newspaper statement of 1960? They call it, just Google, take your phone and Google, anybody. The 1960 statement accredited to Sardauna of Sokoto, that's the premier. Statement made on the 2nd October 1960.
Wait till me the statement.
Just Google it, you will see it.
No, tell us. You did here already. Why will Google when you did here?
Let me quickly phrase it. It says, anybody that can Google, it says, Nigeria, the estate of our great-grandfather Usman Danfodio. I'm just quoting it from my head, but I think someone who Google it will read it very well. It says, we shall make sure the minorities, which is the middle belt, we will make them as a willing tool. Then use the South as a conquered territory. Use the South as a conquered territory, because the vision of Usman Danfodio was to conquer Nigeria from Sokoto and conquer the whole country down to the south. So if you see the security challenges we have today, it started all the way from Sokoto. Now it has entered Maiduguri and then entered the Middle Belt. As I said last time that I was contributing, it is now in Enugu, even Owo, Yoruba.
Is it Ahmadu Bello's statement by October 12 you're talking about?
Yes.
Anybody can Google it and read it out to this house.
Okay, so let me read it out to you now. Calm down. They say the nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our grandfather, Uthman Danfodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We must use the minorities in the north as willing tools and south as conquered territories and never allow their future. Sir Ahmadu Bello, October 12, 1960. Now written in talk.
So, if you remember again, before Buhari became president, what was the slogan of his campaign? Change. See, Fulani are very intelligent people. And then they use the Middle Belt people as willing to when they were fighting the Biafran war. Mainly, the Fulani never took part in the war. They did not give. They will pitch you against yourself.
Oh, so they no fight. They just Hausa and on Middle Belt, they fight Igbo.
Exactly. They were not in the field.
If you observe, now the Hausa have created more awareness. That's why there's no more protest in the north again. Let me even tell you something. You know me, I told you, I followed Jaruma Hausa. The vision of Kwankwaso was that if he become vice president, it's either anybody, if he become vice president or any of the Christian, they will make sure that they eliminate that person and then create a war. And you remember, Buhari, Gowon is the longest serving president in the history of Nigeria, if you remember. Because of the Biafran war, he served for 99 years. So the vision, their plan is that even if now as we are, they don't want to accept anything. Even if they want to accept, even like a Peter Obi is coming, they must. If you see Obasanjo, they are even using him. That's why even the Hausa people, even it's something they are even saying now that they want to boycott the next election, the 2027 election. They want to boycott it because they realize that the Fulani have been using their numbers. So now there's even an orchestrated plan now to go.
So calm down first. You're saying that the Hausas in the north are saying that they want to boycott the 2027 election.
Boycott the 2027 election because they realize that Fulani always. You see, like someone like the governor of Kaduna, he came as a Hausa man. They normally used to use them and disguise. Now when they enter, they will now bring out their real color. And the Hausa believe that insecurity cannot end until pure Hausa people begin to ascend the throne. In fact, there was even this thing. It's not even in our media now. The governor, the king of Katsina, traveled all the way to United Nations, UNESCO, and said that they should change the history of the Hausa people. But he's a Fulani man, but he's now claiming that he's a Hausa man. It is in fact when Lugard left, up to today, if you remember, if you realize that even in Benin they are returning their artifacts. I don't know if you remember. In Benin, their culture, even Benin and other places, they are returning their artifacts. But have you ever asked yourself why the London museum have refused to return Hausa own? Because they Fulani want to. They are rewriting histories right now as I speak. The history of the Middle Belt, they are rewriting it. The history of the Hausa, they want to rewrite it. There are so many extortion. So the best thing, we always say democracy is a game of number. I was so impressed with Pa Adebanjo, late Pa Adebanjo of blessed memory, and then Edwin Clark. You see, those pandef, that group, those powerful people, when they were together, they were bringing the people. In fact, the Fulani were jittering. They were afraid. You see, immediately those people die as if that synergy is no more there. Dele Farotimi has been there too. He's also a member of the group, but we need elders. But even right now, the elders that are, because do you know that those pandef, when Edwin Clark was there speaking on behalf, there was that synergy between the Middle Belt and also the Hausa too were also trying to join, but even up to now, Hausa have not been allowed to join. They don't have, like Igbo have and Igbo. We in the Middle Belt, like Biroma, we have a Beko, we have Usaldorom, we have all our traditional diseases. Up to now, the only major ethnic group that have not been allowed to form the association is the Hausa people. And if you remember, when election time comes, 2027, Tinubu now, if you want to go to Sokoto to vie for vote, Tinubu will not go and visit the Hausa people. He would rather go and visit the Sultan of Sokoto.
So who is stopping the Hausa people from forming their own association?
Anybody that wants to they used to kill them. I've said it to you. I'm not supposed to mention this on your show now, but it's true. Anybody that is having a future, even in military, Hausa are not in the military. Hausa are not in the immigration. Any sensitive position, DSS, name it, Hausa are not there. Even if you are there, they will rather marry a Fulani woman for you. So your secret is with the Fulani people and your life, because he's the one who's cooking your food. Did you hear when this Aisha Buhari mentioned something that when in that new book that they said when they wanted to separate her with Buhari, they now said that she will likely poison him. Nigeria, I just pray that the Hausa people now, even the issue of division, the Hausa people want to join. If you remember, there was a collaboration between the Middle Belt and the Hassas. That was why Usman Danfodio was stopped. That was how he was killed in Benue. Benue people are the one who actually killed him. But you see, we are now bearing the brunt. It is not easy. Our people are dying every day. But me, I'm just happy because this democracy, what I just want is that all voices that will be calling on your show, please bring people that will be talking more about electoral reform. We must stand and fight this thing. Any INEC chairman that will one day come out and announce, even if it is 3 a.m., let people be willing to come out and protest. Why will Senegal have good election? Those are the things I want even our mainstream media to be talking about. Why will Ghana here? Do you know that when there's election in Ghana, they don't used to lock down places? Market open. I don't know. Me, I've never traveled out of Nigeria, but I I read that. People who knows more, Anti-Precious, you are a journalist, help us interrogate this. Why is it that whenever there's election in Ghana, Senegal, like Ghana particularly, they don't even used to shut down places. They don't used to restrict movement. People go and vote, and even before the electoral empire will announce, just like the way we used to see in CNN, the numbers, as the numbers are trickling, everybody has his own number. Why is it that we cannot put on CNN, on channels TV, Arise, and all these our major mainstream media? Then we'll be seeing the numbers are trickling in. Then you who is voting, you'll be seeing it. And then nobody should be intimidated like Igbo style, who are majority in Lagos and in Kano, in some like all the other places. They can also elect their own people.
All right. Thank you, Davos. Thank you, Davos. You've made a great point. Thank you. Thank you so much, Davos. I appreciate you. Dr. Kach, would you like to
Yes.
react on the things he said? Honestly, that
Yes.
statement by Amadu Bello is very scary. And you see, the thing is that why waiting the warriors for South? Why are Southern now the South don't get majority of the media? So why the Southern media need it once in a while remember things like this and use them as headlines and talk about them?
Well, the South were
Did he get any response
undermined.
from leaders when he even made these statements? Like any
When
region?
he made these statements
Yes, sir.
was in the 60s.
Yes, in
But
1960. 12th
most
October
people
1960.
didn't take him seriously. It was only after he died and then Nigerians started seeing a lot of the Fulani magic, machinations, and then they started going back to say, oh, these are the things this man said, and now we're beginning to understand it. To ruthlessly prevent the Southerners from having access to power. That's what they implemented through the coups. So the cascade of coups was what they used in writing all the decrees, impose the decrees, got people to agree to say, okay, for sake of peace, let's cook. And once you get in there, the numbers arranged in the decrees becomes a binding number, and suddenly they have a majority. That's what happened.
So is it also
That's
true
what they
what he
did.
said that not that like, houses are not allowed to form their own union or um,
Yes,
cultural
because
organization?
fear is,
Why?
if you ask me, I will, well, it is fear. When the households try to do anything, they will be reminded that they are Muslims. That are they not happy being in the same union with other Muslims? And intimidations will be used in the mosques because once the news is hard, since all of you pray in the same mosque, that's where you'll be stopped. Mala Audu, what did we hear? Memunji, where can I meeting there? So we need that you're holding meeting for what? To break our rank, to do this, to start inciting issues. What is it you want? Such pressures keeps them down. Secondly, the Fulani also use violence against the Hausas. You can see it in the ethnic cleansings. The Hausas are the only Muslims who are killed because the Fulani think the Hausas are disposable. And that's what they're doing. So, but then, as they rightly say, the Hausas were dealt a bad hand by the British. And at independence, they were not given independence. The Fulanis were allowed to continue to colonize them. Another story is it is the man who makes a case for freedom that is given freedom. So when you keep quiet, you don't want freedom, you don't fight for freedom, nobody gives you freedom. And
So
that's
you,
what you're
so you
saying.
think the houses have been quiet about their freedom? They've not been outspoken
Yes,
enough about it.
yes, yes. The households have been very quiet about their freedom. They have not fought for freedom when the Sultanate fought for freedom. That's why they were left behind.
What implication would this have in 2027 election? Would it even matter anyway? Do you think
It
it would
doesn't
matter?
matter because if the elections are still rigged, results are written, what are you going to do? The Nigeria will get well, but not just immediately. To take time. Now we've started the efforts. Where are the other people? Some ran away as a way to stay out of the nonsense, but we're here fighting it. You know, you don't change society by just rhetorics. You do it through actions. But I can tell you something. I'm an optimist, and I know well things will change. But I don't know if that change will come in the same old Nigeria that has failed as a state. It may come when we go our separate paths, because I think that's what we're going to. If the Muslims do not want to play equality with the Christians, that's what I think.
Okay, so for those who don't hear the statement where they say they credited to Amadu Bello, make I read them again. That he did say this statement was made in October 12, 1960. The new, quoting him, paraphrased, quoting him, the new nation
The
called
new
Nigeria,
nation
yes, called
shall
Nigeria,
be an estate.
should be an estate of our grandfather,
Exactly.
Othman Dan Fodio. We must, emphasis on must, oh, we must, and
Ruthlessly.
he put ruthlessly, we must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We must use the minorities in the north. But I thought you said that the Fulani is a minority. How come they're not calling others minorities, sir?
Well, they now think themselves a majority because they have power. And what do you expect?
Okay.
And what if he was just talking in a that's the same thing they pretend now. They tell you that they're not. They are the not.
Yes,
Every other
I
person
mean,
is the
you hear
conspiracy.
statement about the North like everyone is the same, like it's the same thing. So he further says that we must use the minorities in the North as willing tools. So those people make themselves available as willing tools, and South as conquered territories,
Mhm.
and never
Which is
allow.
what you see them trying to do with the jihad. You see, that's exactly what you see them trying to implement and
So it is
enforce.
a must that
Mhm.
South must be conquered. That's a plan.
Well, can't you see it now? They divide us, in sides amongst the zone, why they should fight the Igbo, take their abundant property, go to the Yoruba and tell them to do voter suppression against the Igbo, even knock Igbo properties down. How are you going to have peace among such persons of the South if they are purposed to fight themselves? It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
This is scary. Let me have your parting shot, sir. I'm terrified to hear this. It's
No
crazy
problem.
hearing this. It's crazy. Let me take your parting shots. Are there things you want to say?
The country will get good. As I said, that good could come in the form of a former peaceful partition, which is what the United States and Israel are actually listening to Nigerians who are speaking to them internationally. Well, as I said, if the Muslims will double down and say no, they don't want to share the country with the rest of us, I don't see anything wrong in people peacefully going their different ways.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kacha. Appreciate you big time for being here and for always educating us and awakening our minds for the things that happen for inside Nigeria. Now, small sense going to enter our head. Most importantly, you're bringing back history. We don't deny our children from school. So most of the things you say to us as history, we remind ourselves, some of us we know before, and those we don't know, they learn some things about their country, Nigeria, and we appreciate you big time for this. And just like somebody had once suggested, I do hope that you open a school where you begin to impact this knowledge on people, because it is very important to make you transfer within you get to another person or to the next generation. I appreciate you big time, sir. I do look forward to doing this with you again next week.
Thank you very much. The
Thank you.
videos are plentiful on the internet. The people should start from there. There's so
Thank,
much of it.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. I appreciate you. So do enjoy the rest of your evening, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. All right, Nigerians, you've heard this. That's the size of our package. I'm speechless. But I'd love to say a big thank you to all of you for always being part of the show. Thank you so much for always joining us here. Maybe we continue to talk for the growth and development of our nation, because person where they get knowledge, there's a reason why knowledge is important and knowledge is dangerous. When you get knowledge, you know go fit miss road. You understand? Let's continue to educate ourselves and talk about the way forward for all our safety and for the good of our nation, Nigeria, and our unborn generation. I love you guys so much. But in the midst of all of this, ensure you protect your mental health, because if you worry small about Nigeria, you safeguard your mental health. Because he who worries about Nigeria and runs away lives to worry another day. You don't want to put yourself in that trouble. So worry a little bit and run away to live another day. If you're not following us across social media, what's waiting you again now? Please now follow us across our social media platforms. If you've not liked this post, please go ahead and like it. Kindly like, share. You know they pay money, not be DSTV, not be GoTV. You're not making contribution. So please like, share, and make sure it gets to as many people as possible. People need to see this video. People need to see this so that we'll be enlightened and be aware. There's nothing, it's very important to be aware of your environment and your surroundings. So let's just share and be aware of our environment. Protect your mental health. I love you. Good night and God bless you. Bye.